Motion, motion, motion. She's a motion. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
Okay.
She feeling emotions. You feeling emotion. She wish you could. She wish she would. And now they're feeling emotion. They're liking my motion. I knew I could. I knew I would. And now we up, blowing cash, living fast, making emotion. She's emotional, emotional. She's emotional, emotional. She's emotional, 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 emotional. I got Mr. Motion, baby. I got motion, Mr. Motion, baby. I got motion, Mr. Motion, baby. I got motion.
Motion, motion, motion. She's a motion, emotional. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Semaj Je'Taime, and we on the Mr.Motion platform, and we have another episode of Emotional Mondays. Clap it up, everyone. Clap it up, chat. I have a very, very special guest for y'all, man. I got my friend, Latajah.
Hey.
How you doing today, Latajah?
I'm good.
We had the first video on how to find a faithful man in 2025, and let's just say that I got some feedback and we were educated, we were enlightened, and that's good because this is what this platform is for. But today's video, it's all about how to attract a faithful woman in 2025. And Latajah's gonna give y'all all the game. So my first question for you, Latajah, is what is your definition of faithful?
Okay, my definition of faithful, honestly, I feel like it would be a combination of a bunch of different smaller things. So somebody that's faithful is, to me, is somebody that's honest, also is humble, walks in humility. Faithful, I think that also comes with leadership. Faithful is being vulnerable and truthful, even when it might, upset the other person or, maybe hurt a little bit, ruffle some feathers. I would rather know everything up front than to find out from somebody else or from something else instead of like hearing it from you. So
most definitely, for sure. I told them that my definition of faithful, it all starts with God.
no, clock that T. Yeah. I definitely agree because I think that goes without saying with a lot of things. Like even when it comes to love, like half of us for a long time, me included, I walked in what I perceive love to be, but unless you have experienced the love of God and have love for God, you'll never be able to give true love. You will never really understand the definition of love.
For sure, for sure. Now, I want to get into women. They look for 3 Ps, and you can correct me, you can educate me, you can validate what I'm saying and whatnot. And I said the 3 Ps for what they look for in a man is protection. They want a man that provides, and they want a man that is very passionate. Would you agree?
Honestly, that was really good. I never heard of the 3 Ps. I feel like that honestly sums up everything I kind of.
Okay. I said there's 3 C's that men look for in a woman, and it's calm and collected. I said it's communication, and then I use civil and / rational. What do you think about that?
I think that's fine. I don't think.
Okay.
Where did the controversial?
Like a lot of people felt that I was saying that like women they couldn't display their emotions out loud if somebody like made them mad or anything like that. And I corrected myself in the video by stating that like I understand like human emotion is human emotion, end all be all. But there's something about when a woman is able to not go at 10 immediately. A lot of people felt that I was telling them that they couldn't, show out their emotions, or somebody made them mad that they couldn't cut up the situation.
I think that is one of the issues with our generation, honestly.
Controversy.
Yeah, don't eat me up. Don't eat me up for the videos. But I feel like sometimes, because at the end of the day, women are very emotional. I think when it comes to relationships, it has to be a pair, a match. My mom always used like a glove analogy. So like, if I stick my hand in a glove, it should fit.
Right.
2 fingers shouldn't be in one should be left out, like it should fit. And so if there is a woman who, because I mean that's honestly what it is, it's some form of trauma, and they express it in a different manner because they have not yet dealt with it. And I used to do the same thing, like quick, just ready to go off. But it takes a certain, honestly, I feel like, first of all, you gotta do a little bit of work within yourself. But it also takes a certain type of guy understand, like, okay, I'm gonna give you a second, but
right.
Let's calm down.
Let's keep it at a 5 and not go automatically to a 10.
Yeah.
Let's not attack each other.
Yeah, I think so. It also, it's like a partnership. That's what I talk about, like a match, a pair. Because if he knows that his person, if a guy knows that his person, you know, goes automatically to a 7, then as a guy with the 3 P's, I feel like he should be, passionate about the state of mind that his woman is in.
Okay.
So he should be attentive and see, like, okay, I know this is about to set this off, so let me interject here, or let me do X, Y, and Z. And for the women, I feel like, take your butt to therapy.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, honestly, because I had to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Had to go really find God so he can actually heal those pieces in your heart, because that's what it is. And it would be the same for, like, if it was vice versa. If
right.
it was a guy who couldn't regulate his emotion. Because I think that's some of the things, like, you know, us as females say a lot. Guys, y'all are unemotionally available. And for some, it is. That's the truth. But it's also that for women, too. So I just feel like you just gotta...
It's case by case, I would say.
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely case by case.
So I actually have, I have 10 things. And it's not in specific order. But for me, this is definitely number 1. And the most important thing is you have to come in with the mindset of, I'm still gonna love God, I'm still gonna love Jesus Christ more than I love her. I don't want to be consumed. I don't want you to consume me more than you're consuming your word or spending time with God. Because God is a just God. And I don't want to be in the way of nobody's, process of trying to build a relationship with God. So that's my first one. You got to have a relationship with God.
It's a triangle.
Yeah.
Sure, but God is always at the top of that triangle for both partners. My
second one, I think it would be definitely leadership.
Leadership.
Yes, you gotta know how to lead, because me personally, I date to marry. So right from the bat, like I want to take time to, obviously we can court. You court me, guys. You court a woman. That's what you do, right? You
don't date a woman.
You court her.
If you're not ready to court someone, then take some time to build that foundation. But we're not wasting nobody's time, and that's just coming from a man, faithful man, telling y'all that.
Yeah, definitely. Being intentional. I think that's what courting to me. I feel like that's what it's all about. Like being intentional. Like come with the hard questions. I think now I'm really understanding how important it is to come off the bat, like as believers, or even if whatever, you gotta have some type of morals and values and boundaries. If you don't have those 3, that's when you end up in messy and sticky situations. Set it off right off the bat. Like me personally, my top ones are, I'm not having sex with you. Like, where's the rest? I'm not having sex with you. You gotta be at church. You can't just say, I love God and
be lukewarm.
Yeah, like you can't be in and out. Like, leadership. You gotta know how to lead. I have to feel comfortable enough to be like, if my life was in life or death, I can trust you to lead and do what you need to do. Like, I can close my eyes and I know that you are going to lead me. I won't bump into anything. Intentionally, I won't bump into anything. So that's definitely important.
That's game. And a lot of y'all maybe in situations right now where you may not be leading, and it's okay because you have this video and now you have that awareness and this education to say, okay, this is what I need to do in order to correct this. So yeah, what's your third one?
Actually, let me add to that.
Okay, she wants to add to that.
Leadership. And when I say that, men, guys, I don't mean to, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to come so like big-headed. I don't know how else to put that. Like, because it's still a partnership at the end of the day. Like, if it's two of y'all, it's the woman and it's the guy. If the guy is the one that's gonna be on the front for like answering the questions, leading, right? You still can talk to your woman about X, Y, and Z. And a good woman would be, you know, open to hear and giving her opinions also, and a good man will be able to take those things, because now it's two minds coming together as one, so y'all can actually, you know, be in a good position. So I've heard a lot of guys be like, I'm not ready. I'm just not ready to be in a relationship or be married. Like, I don't have it all together. But the thing is, who does? I think it's about building, especially because we're younger. Like,
yeah.
You know, so
yeah, most definitely.
Everybody gonna be in the stage of building. Nobody's gonna be like quote unquote 100% ready.
My question to that is, I think a lot of people feel maybe like that because of society, and because I don't want to say our generation, because I don't think it's just our generation participating in it, but social media being a thing, we have so much access to every and everyone, so that accessibility factor comes in. And now you're seeing people that are promoting, if a man doesn't do so and so and this and that, then you know you don't need to be in a relationship. And you just have so much of, oh, my man provides, my man does this, my man does that. And someone that is not in them shoes, they may feel like, I'm just, you know, I'm not able to be in a relationship, I'm not ready, because one, they feel like they can't provide at the same standard of, you know, social media and, you know, people that have maybe status or, you know, money and whatnot at their age or, you know, younger age and whatnot. But also is the fact that there's so many options out here that they see that's readily available. Do you think it's an issue? Do you think that there's a way of combating that? Like, where's your head at?
As a generation who's very heavy in social media, we have to learn to separate the two, because it's very few people who put out the bad, the sad stuff. And even when I feel like some people do put out those things, sometimes I feel like it's a little rehearsed, because what are you gonna do? You're gonna like what? Set the camera up, get the good lighting, and cry. I just try to wrap my head around that. So it's like it's where's the true vulnerability at when it comes to like stuff like that, or even it sets unrealistic expectations for a lot of people in our generation and other generations, because now it's like everybody is really getting on social media now, so it's really setting a lot of people up, I feel like, for failure, honestly. Because if you're really just, you know, you're average, you know, you go to school or you go to work and you're trying to just, you know, make a living in this economy, it's a little difficult. Like one income for a family of even a family, like a husband, a wife, and a child, like
right.
That husband probably gonna need like 2-3 sources of income. And it also goes like, how are y'all gonna manage everything? I know everybody hates the topic of 50-50. I don't necessarily agree with 50-50, but I feel like at this age, I'm about to be 23, so of course at the beginning it'll probably be 50-50, quote unquote, like, because both parties, y'all still building, and at some point there could be a switch over, you know,
right, to
where that guy can actually provide fully for you. Because I feel like all men, they actually want to provide, and they want that. What do you say? Do y'all actually want to provide?
Yeah.
I
mean, a faithful man wants to be, a God-fearing man wants to be able to provide. We want to truly fall in love and know that you are the one. Know that, you know, when I leave the kingdom, that my kids are in good hands. Mm-hmm. Know that we can go on different routes, join back together, finish at the finish line. Mm-hmm. Through all obstacles, we can jump through hurdles and whatnot. So of course, I want to provide, you know, mm-hmm. I want to provide. And I had to learn through, you know, my experiences and whatnot that, and, you know, getting closer with God, is that I don't want to do 50-50. And that's why I've consciously made the decision that I'm not getting into a relationship until I have that foundation, until I'm able to build it brick by brick. So once I'm able to provide and protect and, you know, be passionate about the relationship and put my, you know, myself into one, because that's a, you know, that's a task within itself, then I can finally court someone or, you know, start, you know, that process. But I have to build a foundation first in order to do that.
I like that.
Yeah. Seal of approval. W March. Yeah.
What do you mean, like W's in the chat?
W's in the chat.
I like that, but also let me throw a verse at you. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. So when I look at that scripture, that goes back to my point of like not needing, like it's good like to have build you, do you, like you said, the triangle. If both of y'all are heading there together, like y'all are gonna meet God at the tip of this triangle. But I also feel like sometimes men have the plan, they have it, but it's like the support, the motivation is not always there. So I feel like also just being open enough to know, like, if somebody does come into your life and it's like, dang, like, am I gonna wait 3 years until I'm building this up?
Yeah. And
then she's already like, you know, gone and move on or whatever the case may be? Or do I invite her into that process? Because I feel like a woman of God, a good woman essentially I think it will fast track, because now he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. So one, you found this good thing, and God said that's kind of like a promise he gave. You will obtain favor.
Right.
So you obtain favor from God by having this good thing as a wife, by treating her right, by, you know, doing good by her. And when she's satisfied, God is satisfied, because it's like he said, love your wife like Christ loved the church.
Okay.
So it's like, say your wife does come in 6 months.
Right.
And come and like give you other ideas or just motivate you to stay on a certain track or a time frame, or even if she just simply behind the scenes praying for opportunities for you and doors open, to where what could have took you 3 years now took you 8 months.
Interesting. That's an interesting perspective, and that's why we got Latajah on here. I never thought of it like that. You know, obviously every night I pray for, you know, my life partner, my wife. I pray for that. Even if I don't know that person yet,
period,
I'll know them eventually. So I make sure that, you know, they stay abundant, you know, they stay God-fearing through the process. So you're giving out gems, and I hope, hopefully y'all are, you know, reciprocating all of this, and, you know, it affects y'all for, you know, for the better. What's your next tip that you had?
Honesty, plain and simple. Honestly, just be honest. Like, don't fabricate the truth. You know, be honest about certain things. And honestly, most of the time, if a female asks you something, they probably have a hint on it or a feeling.
Intuition.
Yeah, as a woman of God, discernment. We have discernment. Everybody has a level of discernment if you actually listen. Discernment is only just the Holy Spirit, basically kind of like navigating you, guiding you. So yeah, be honest, guys.
Transparency. How you feel about that? Like, transparency.
I honestly think it is good. I'm kind of learning it now, like, to be honest, to be like, I wouldn't say honest, to be transparent. Yeah, to be just more open about how I feel, or if something bothers me.
Say it in the moment rather than letting it, you know, stifle and build up. Because I said in the previous video that, and that's why I said communication is such a key factor, especially with women, because we have so much on our minds. When we first wake up in the day, our first thought is, how can we make this day successful? How are we able to, you know, put ourselves and our family or our village or whatnot in a better position? So we just have so much that we juggle mentally before the day even starts, that I feel like women have to put on that check engine light before, you know, we can't just read your minds. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think I was talking literally today after church. I was talking to my mom, and she was just talking about like how men, you can't just say your man comes home from work, like he just said, like y'all wake up with this thought already in your mind, because I can only imagine like having to be like a provider, have to have all this money, like you gotta throw your card out every single time, or it's expected for you to do so. I'm pretty sure that's a lot, but I feel like what my mom said, like, okay, he gets home from work or he gets home from doing X, Y, and Z, something productive, you know, or even if he just went out for the day, like if he's out doing whatever he do, putting out many fires all day long, the last thing he wants to do is come home to a nagging wife, a nagging girlfriend, you know, like somebody who's complaining about everything. And I think the first thing that should come out, you know, of your mouth essentially is like, you know, how was your day? How are you? Hitting them from that angle, and then be like, okay, can I tell you about my day, or can I tell you something?
Right.
I feel like it's more receptive to them because it lets them know that you care and you actually do to hear what's going on in their life, and it's not all about like them catering to you and providing for you. It's like it's a partnership. You know?
You can't be afraid to hurt anybody's feelings. Being transparent is saying how you feel so you can get to a solution, so you can get to the finish line together. There's a difference between what you say and how you say it. So if you say it in a way that's like, you know, then it's going to be responded as that. But if you say it in a way that's more so like, I'm being productive, I want us to get to that finish line together, but I do feel like I wasn't satisfied with this, I wasn't satisfied with that, then I feel like as men, we'll take it more, we won't feel attacked. I won't feel attacked, personally. Not everything is going to be perfect. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows, but that transparency allows y'all to really gain a deeper understanding of who you are and who you are to each other. How do you feel?
I agree. I like.
I'm giving out some gems?
Yeah.
Okay, next step.
Okay, the other one is problem solver, because I would like to say that I'm a great problem solver. I'm a go-getter. Like if I put my mind to it, I'm able to do it. As a woman, sometimes to like, I know guys like soft women, you know, women who are in their, what do they like to call it? The soft girl era. Well, actually, I've heard guys actually say they don't really like the term soft girl era.
I don't know specifically. I know what it is, but I don't think I've ever been affected. Maybe I have been affected by it, but I didn't know how to handle it. I wasn't ready to handle a soft girl era, because I feel like soft girl era is like fully in feminine energy.
Yes.
And that's when like the disconnect happens, especially when you're not prepared for it. Especially when a man's not fully in his masculine energy.
Okay.
If you want a woman and you want her to be fully in her feminine energy, you got to be fully in your masculine energy. Or there's going to be levels of, if you're doing 50-50, then the woman might inherit masculine energy. And that's when the clash comes. Because it's like, well, you can't, I may make more money than you, so I'm the boss of the house. And I told him like masculinity isn't just about status or money or anything like that. It's about principles, it's about morals.
I definitely agree. And I think honestly, just within my experience, a lot of guys, I feel like either they just don't know how to fully step into that role, because honestly, the lack of, good mentors, especially within the Black community, for men is very slim. And so a lot of our men don't really know how to step into it fully. It comes more off as like the aggressive.
We spoke about that.
Yeah.
Like aggressiveness being masked as masculinity.
Right.
I have to put fear in you in order for you to truly understand that I'm being serious. It's being presented like that in the media.
Exactly. And ladies, y'all have to stop going for it. I mean, like, it's not cute. That grinds my gears. Every time I see like a female even calling themselves like out of their own name, like if a guy's like, that's my, and they're calling themselves like I'm his, stuff like that. You are allowing him to do these things, so it's like he's gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just weird, and I think a lot of you can feel it honestly. How some guys, they just automatically have that like masculine energy to where it's like you get around them and it's like I can't do nothing. Like you want to open this door for me, you want to hold this, you want to carry my back. Like it just, to me now, it just kind of flows naturally. You can just like feel it, honestly.
Yeah, most definitely. And not to say that you can't develop these qualities. No, you definitely will develop these qualities, both men and women. But it's gonna take some experience and it's gonna take some awareness. You have another tip for them?
Yeah, honestly, that just goes into like the next one, which is like humility, and then like in parentheses, kind of like self-awareness.
Interesting.
Because I mean, I kind of briefly touched on it like in the very beginning about like how I would like somebody to approach me. But yeah, like I just feel like you just have to be humble. Like to me, it's just like it gives me the ick when somebody got to like when men like puff their chest out, because I think like somebody that is embracing a full like man, a man of God, a man of faith. You don't have to do too much. Your actions speak for itself. Your presence alone speaks for itself. So you don't have to, puff up your chest or, be flashy with anything. Like you just don't have to do so much. And I think what is most attractive to me is self-awareness. Like I love if you're able to like take correction, like, and not be so, I guess, combative.
Right. You don't feel attacked, but you take it and you're able to say, thank you for giving me your perspective and I'm able to learn from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes with like being humble and like humility, because if you see something that's like wrong with me, or something that I could fix and be more aware of, because sometimes we aren't aware of the things that we do. Sometimes it's learned habits from our environment.
Right.
So
sometimes you instinctually do things. Yeah.
So
and it's never been addressed before.
Yes, that's so good, because that was another conversation that literally had earlier today at the church. It was a group of us that was sitting and talking, and one thing that he said was, Lord, I just had a brain fart. One thing that he said, that he never had to like do certain things with previous like exes, previous girlfriends. I guess that's the right term.
Okay.
Like in terms of like checking in, like you going out with your homeboys and stuff like that, like sitting there like, I'm here now, or I'll be back in so and so, or hey, just checking in type of thing, like whatever it is, like that was not expected of him in his last relationship. Some things, sometimes it's just different levels of people. So if you go into a relationship and it's something that you're not used to, it's like, it could probably like shock you a little bit, like I'm not putting up with this, but your other person, they did. Or vice versa, like, so you just have to know. And this was something I actually had to like, that's why self-awareness is so important. Like, I had to work on, because I think I'm a little like, I guess, bossy sometimes. And I feel like it's more of like passion, because, I do a little bit of ministry, so it's kind of like all of it together. I'm like, okay, I went through this. I know that Jesus is this. I know that the Lord is this. I know that he can do this. So when I tell somebody something, and because I think of them, like I'm thinking to myself, like, if somebody tells me something, 10 minutes later, if a situation comes up to where I can apply what they just told me, you can bet your life on it that I'm gonna use what I just learned. And so when people don't do that, it irks me. So then I just get frustrated. I was just rambling, but anyways, yes, humility and self-awareness is important.
Do you have another tip for them?
I do. Gentle, peacemaker, kind. Like how we were talking about earlier, how women, we're emotional, so like we're on 10. I think some guys, I feel like guys are more logical, or
so weird.
It's just
because there's literally things we said last video.
Really?
Yeah, there was a situation where we were saying how that's why, and it came to like the 3 C's as well. And we talking about like calm and collectedness, and how I think Chan was talking about how a woman back home was cutting up on this lady and saying, I did that because that lady did that to me. And I was saying how that is so important that men protect, and when a situation arises and the man is there, that the man should handle it. Because, and I'm not generalizing, but saying that women are, more emotional than men, so they might go to 10 rather than thinking logically about it. Whereas men, we think based on logic, so it's not going to be a whole nuke that just dropped on them. It's going to be more like a sniper or like a silencer, and it's going to be direct, straight to the point. Like, don't do that. Whatever a man, every man's different on how they say it, but it's not going to be this whole thing that lasts 5 to 10 minutes. It's not going to be super, big. It's gonna be straight to the point, and that's that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because if your man is, I think I've seen like something on social media where it's like two women are like were fighting or something like that, and the boyfriend or whatnot like got in the middle of it to like break it up and like was telling the girl like get away, like move, like you're not about to hit my girl type of thing. And a lot of females in the comment like she weak or she this and you need to stay out of women's stuff. But I feel like if I was ever in that situation, listen, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting. So if somebody wants to fight me, handle that with my man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He's gonna want to protect me, so he's not gonna
allow it to happen.
Yeah, and like he's not just protecting like my actual self, but like my reputation. And I think like, cause if I'm in the moment, I might actually do want to fight. I'm like this is gonna boil over. And I feel like you were talking about a guy could be more like, all right, listen, you got this going for yourself. You got this. Get in the car.
Right.
We just gonna leave. Like, it's not even that deep. We can go find somewhere else to do whatever. Like, so peacemaker. Like, especially like when women come home. Like, like I said, like when your husband, your boyfriend, or whatever walk through the door, however y'all living situation is, even if y'all long distance or whatever, you pick up the phone. How was your day, whatever. Then after that, you ask them like, all right, let me tell you about my day. Like, can I tell you? Like, I need to talk about it, type of thing. And I feel like we could probably go on and on for like 45 minutes because I know I do. I can run my mouth.
You're a yapper?
Yeah, I'm a yapper. And so with that, I just feel like if I'm on 10 about something that just happened at work, especially like women in like high stress jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, because I'm a social worker, so I see a lot of different things. So it's like, I definitely might be up here, not like angry or anything, but like I might be like very emotional from something.
You're overstimulated.
Yeah, from something I just seen or heard. And so it's like this person, I was gonna say this earlier when you said you were talking about something, but like you mentioned it kind of like being each other's like peace. Like, and this is something also that my mom said, you have to be each other's peace. So if you gotta put on a hard face all day long, when you get into the presence of your partner, you should be able to just like literally let go, whatever it is, the ugly, the bad, the whatever you're dealing with, you should be able to let go and take off that mask. So yeah, that's that point.
This is crazy, because I feel like we said all of this in the first video.
One is like good listener and can be taught. So I think that goes into where I was talking about the humble and being self-awareness, but being a good listener, I think that's just self-explanatory. Like I said, women, we are kind of emotional, so and we just love to talk,
Yeah.
Especially like if we're comfortable around the person. So just being a good listener, something else, literally. My mom beats for engines, okay? But she was talking about you don't just hit him with a whole 45 to an hour rant because 9.5 out of 10, he's probably not gonna hear or get every single point.
He might clock out a little bit.
Yes.
Especially if he's had a whole day himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like men, we've all been in that situation where like we thinking in our head, yeah, we just want to get on the game or something, and then we gotta, we're on FaceTime with our lady or whatnot, and then she just drops. We just like, man.
I think it should just be like, I guess it's like a healthy balance, like trying to summarize it. Now my mom was like, that's why you should have female friends to go and talk to them about it. I also feel like, dang, like what if I don't want to talk to my female friends? I want to talk to the person that I can be my total self around. Not that I can't be my total self with my friend, but if we're thinking like marriage, like we're one. So like what I'm feeling, you should like be, it don't have to be every day that you're listening to these 45-minute rants, but even if you are clocking out, you can just in your head get a summary, because I'm probably gonna be like, so what did I just say? If I see you intentionally like clock out, I'll probably be like, what did I just say? Like,
oh man.
like you gotta be able to throw something back at me, and I'll be like, okay, you was listening.
And I feel like a solution to that is to, like you said, break it down in parts and leave that silence for the man to answer. But don't do the whole 45 to an hour rant and then be like, what did I say? Because it's then like, what? I didn't study for this test. This is a pop quiz, you know?
Dang, that's true.
Yeah, most definitely. And you had one more, right?
Yeah, it was 2 of them.
You said a good listener. Yeah, I had a point to being a good listener. As men, and I said this too in our last video, but as men, we definitely, and I feel like it goes to both parties. We definitely want someone that, you know, is able to pick our brain.
Yeah.
We're able to have intelligent and emotional, you know, conversations. And it's not just about, you know, physical or anything like that, because it starts, you know, with emotions at the end of the day. So I told them bump the gen ed questions, like what job do you have, how much money do you make, what's your favorite color? Like, yeah, like that's good questions, but I want to be able to have those 3 o'clock in the morning conversations and be able to say like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and how can I be an asset within that, and how can you be an asset to me within that? Things like that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely important. Like, and it's so crazy. That's why premarital counseling is good. There's safety in a multitude of counsel. Like, even if you're dating somebody or you're courting, should I say, find people who are where you want to be, or that you know the Holy Spirit, that God is within them, so that they can pour into both parties.
Right.
And somebody that's not going to be biased. Like, that's one thing, you know, I literally love about Mama Donna. Like, she is, like, if I come with somebody that I'm dating and I'm wrong, she's literally going to tell me that I'm wrong, and she's not going to pick sides. So I feel like having that counsel is, like, really good. Like, because you'll be surprised of how many couples don't make it because they're disagreeing on where they want their children to go to school. Public, private, or
right.
What church are you gonna go to if y'all, you know, go to different churches where y'all courting? Are y'all gonna come to one church? Where y'all gonna go for family? How is family? Like, what's your family background? Like, what are those things?
Right.
What was your childhood? Because when you start digging into each other's childhood, that is where you're gonna see like, okay, this is why he acts like this, and this is why she reacts like this when this happens. So it's a lot of like inside work. And one thing that I'm also learning is like, it's a reflection. It's going to be like a mirror. So you can do as many workbooks and watch as much videos, so many counseling sessions you want to do. Some things are going to come out when you're literally with your person. Even if it's not your person, even if it's both 2 individuals who are just honestly trying to see if this relationship will work, it's going to be like a mirror. You're going to start seeing yourself in that person, but the flaws. And it's going to be a shocker because like, dang, like I thought I fixed this. I thought I worked on it, but you can't really work on stuff outside. You can, but it's like, you're not going to really know that it really helped until you're in that relationship.
Right.
To know if you really healed or you really, you know, worked on it. So, yeah. That's that. And I'm gonna just tie the last 2 together.
Okay, for sure.
So I put dependable and loving. Dependable. Like you have to be dependable, especially like when the female has active males in her life. It could be homeboys, it could be brothers, it could be a father, like grandpa, whatever. They come to her rescue if she needs something, like they're dependable. She's definitely gonna expect that from you as well. So I feel like, even if you don't know how to do it, say my tire bust or something and I need my tire changed, even if you don't actually know how to change a tire, I feel like you should, first of all, care about my safety and point me in the direction of where to go. Like, so stuff like that. Like, I just want to know that like you're dependable. If I'm at an event, or if I'm doing an event, I'm hosting something, or whatever the case may be, like, do I know that you're gonna be there? You're gonna be supportive. Like, can I take a load off my shoulder, hand it to you, and know that it'll get done?
And if he's a man of his word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I think. Tell me what your perspective is on that. Like, I think And I don't know how all women feel about it actually. I don't know, because I've heard a lot of women say like, I need action. I need to see action. Like you can talk, but I want to see action. And I want to see both. Like, I don't feel like one should weigh the other. And I don't know. I was talking to some people and I think some guys is more of action because verbally putting stuff out is a little like hard or difficult for some guys to formulate their words, but they can show you all day that they care or that they listening or that they love you, but actually saying it like I love you, or I'm proud of you, I'm like, you know, just giving them words, the words of affirmation. So I think that's very important. Knowing each other's like love language.
But yeah, being a man of your word is very important. But actions is the universal language. You know, somebody can speak Spanish, somebody can speak German, but if they do something and you see it, then you can interpret what they did. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't. They could say something, you don't know what they said, but if you see that they're doing something, you're like, okay, like I know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I feel like it was a really great episode. I feel like we really, was able to get into the mind of a faithful woman and things that she, finds attractive within within a man and whatnot. And yeah, I feel like y'all were very much given a lot of game, and if you utilize it, you utilize it. If you don't, then that's fine too. Everybody got choice. But I appreciate everyone that came on this video. I appreciate everyone that liked, that commented, that subscribed. We're definitely on a journey and we just getting started. Yeah, man, please give a round of applause for Latajah, man, for dropping all these gems. So yeah, do you have anything you want to say to them?
I don't know. I hope y'all take everything that was like given and apply it and share y'all feedback on what y'all think.
Right.
Don't eat me up in the comments though.
Right. Please keep the conversation healthy between, both parties, because at the end of the day, we all are evolving. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all so much. This is another episode of Emotional Monday with Semaj Je'Taime, and we got Latajah. Thank y'all so much. See y'all in the next video. Motion out. Peace.